In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and set up Genymotion, an Android emulator that lets you run Android devices right on your computer. We'll create a virtual Android phone, go through the basic setup, and see what Genymotion can actually do. You'll be able to install APK files, try different Android versions and devices, test apps, and even run some Android games. Genymotion is mainly built with Android development and testing in mind, so it's especially useful if you want to test an app without having to use a physical Android phone. So let's get started and set up Genymotion. This is the Genymotion download section. Genymotion Desktop is available for Windows, Linux, and macOS, so you need to choose the version that matches your operating system. Since I'm using Windows, I'll select the Windows. You'll notice that the Windows download is available for Windows Home, Pro, and Enterprise, with the Pro Edition being the recommended option. There's also an important option here called Download Without VirtualBox. Genymotion uses VirtualBox as the virtualization engine to run its Android virtual devices. The standard Windows installer includes VirtualBox, so if you don't already have VirtualBox installed, this is the option you would normally use. However, if VirtualBox is already installed on your computer and you want to manage it separately, you can download the version without VirtualBox. Genymotion offers several desktop plans including free, educational, individual, and business. For this tutorial, I'm going with the free version. The free plan costs $0 and no license is required. It's intended for personal use and provides the basic features needed to get started with Genymotion. If you're just experimenting with Genymotion, testing Android apps, or simply want to see how it works, the free version is a good place to start. And if you find Genymotion useful and need additional features, you can always upgrade to one of the paid plans later. The installation process is fairly straightforward. Follow the installation wizard and leave the default options unless you have a specific reason to change them. Depending on your operating system, Genymotion may also require virtualization support. Make sure virtualization is enabled in your computer's BIOS or UEFI if Genymotion reports that virtualization isn't available. Since I selected the Genymotion installer that includes VirtualBox, the installation process will also install Oracle VirtualBox on the computer. As you can see here, the VirtualBox installer has opened and we're installing Oracle VirtualBox 7.2.6. Genymotion uses VirtualBox to create and run the virtual Android devices, so VirtualBox is an important part of the setup when using this version of the Genymotion installer. The installer is telling us that the computer needs to be restarted before VirtualBox will be fully operational. This is required because this is the first time Genymotion is being installed on this machine, and VirtualBox has also been installed or upgraded. After the computer restarts, we can launch Genymotion and continue setting up our virtual Android smartphone. The first thing we need to do is log into our Genymotion account. Here we enter the email address and password associated with our account and then click Next. If you don't already have an account, there's also a Create Account option that you can use to register. After logging in, Genymotion asks us how we want to use the desktop application. There are three options here. The first is register a desktop license, which is for users who have purchased a license or want to start a trial. The second option is Genymotion SaaS, which is the cloud-based version. This allows you to interact with cloud devices rather than running everything locally on your computer. And the third option is personal use. Since I'm using Genymotion for personal, non-commercial use, I'll select personal use. Genymotion does mention that personal use provides a very limited set of local features, but it's enough for us to get started with the basic setup. This is the main interface. We have a couple of important sections to look at before creating our virtual smartphone. On the left, we have Android images. This is where Genymotion provides the different Android versions that we can use for our virtual devices. As you can see, there are several versions available, including Android 11, Android 12, Android 13, Android 14, and Android 15. Next, we have hardware profiles. This is where we can choose what type of virtual device we want to emulate. Genymotion provides a variety of predefined devices, including phones and tablets from different manufacturers. For example, we have devices such as the Amazon Fire, Google Nexus, and the Genymotion phone. We can also create a custom phone or tablet if we want to specify our own screen resolution and display characteristics. So, essentially, when we create a virtual device in Genymotion, we're combining an Android image with a hardware profile. Now let's go back to devices and create our first virtual smartphone. I'll click create. This opens the install virtual device window. Genymotion gives us several options that we can configure before installing the virtual phone. First, we have the Android image. Here we can choose which version of Android we want to run. Next is the hardware profile. This determines what kind of virtual smartphone we're going to emulate. I'm going to search for Samsung Galaxy S6 and select it. As you can see, Genymotion provides the specifications for this virtual device, including a 1440 by 2560 resolution and a 5.1-inch display. It's important to understand that this doesn't mean we're installing Samsung's original Galaxy S6 firmware. We're using Genymotion's hardware profile to make the virtual Android device behave and appear like that type of smartphone. Next, we have the system section. Here we can adjust the virtual hardware allocated to the Android device. For this configuration, Genymotion has selected 4 processors and 3072 megabytes of RAM, which is 3 gigabytes. You can adjust these values depending on the resources available on your computer. Just keep in mind that the virtual device is running on top of your existing operating system, so you don't want to allocate all of your computer's RAM or CPU cores to it. We also have options such as root access, Android navigation buttons, and the virtual keyboard. Because we're using the Galaxy S6 hardware profile, Genymotion has automatically selected 1440 by 2560 with the appropriate display density. There are also advanced display options, but for this demonstration, I'll leave them at their default settings. Now that everything is configured, I'll go back to the hardware profile and click Install. Genymotion will now download the Android image and create the virtual device. The Android 15 image is around 852 megabytes, so the amount of time this takes will depend on your internet connection. Once the virtual device has finished installing, it will appear under the Devices section. To start the virtual phone, simply click the play button. Genymotion will then begin starting the virtual device. The first boot may take a little longer because Genymotion has to initialize the Android environment and start the virtual machine. And finally, our Android virtual device has finished booting, and we now have a fully functional Android environment running on the Windows desktop. From here, there are quite a few possibilities. You can install and test Android applications, try different Android versions, test apps across different virtual device configurations, and use it as a development and testing environment without needing a physical Android phone. You can also use it to experiment with Android settings and features, take screenshots, test different screen resolutions and hardware profiles, and even simulate things such as GPS locations, device rotation, and other hardware interactions using the controls available on the side. And by the way, Genymotion can also be used for Android gaming. While gaming isn't its primary purpose, you can use the virtual device to run and experiment with Android games directly on your PC. Overall, whether you're an Android developer, app tester, gamer, or simply someone who wants to run Android on a Windows PC, Genymotion gives you plenty of possibilities to explore. And that's it for this video. We've installed Genymotion Desktop, created an Android virtual device, and successfully booted Android 15 on Windows. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.